All right, hold on one second. All right, salutations. The X-Man's coming to you live. A little bit into this 1 minute. Um, I wanted to get on here for a couple of minutes. I'll do the NFL review in a minute. The outcomes of some of these games today, and I'll do some of my self-evaluation on this. But I wanted to also talk about Charlie Kirk right now. And I really wanted to talk about Charlie Kirk's wife, what I had just seen on TV. And some people, again, we got more Democrats coming out making stories up about how it's fake and she's rich and everything else and all that. You know, haters that are probably Jimmy Epstein Island and Alyssa Milano overrated Epstein Island people, and you know how their comments, they're just ridiculous. I could care less about anybody that puts something up about how they're heroes. I'm just going to get rid of them off there. I'm not going to play the game today. I don't want to hear Democrats that are sour about life. I just don't want to hear about it. I'm sorry. You know, I've seen enough. You know, the Charlie Kirk passing away, a man gets assassinated, people go out and act crazy, and are applauding that. That's sickening. You don't have any purpose to even be on social media if you're like that. Especially someone like Alyssa Milano, who had Aaron Spelling make her, you know, Charmed series work, because it was Aaron Spelling's genius that made it happen. Alyssa Milano had nothing to do with that. Let's say now. I mean, let's rewind the clock and then look at that and say that's one thing. Jimmy Kimmel made the Man Show, but he wasn't even the main character. Somehow he gets on a late night TV show. Probably paid his way into that. Both overrated. There's no reason. And these are the people that are speaking against Charlie Kirk and saying it's a political stunt. I mean, stop. You know what I mean? I'm not going to get on here because I keep this one to a high standard. But the Democrats are frauds, okay? I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to keep going on it, but it gets me infuriated every day that it happens. But I saw a woman on there today, an Erica Kirk. I didn't even know her name until today. And she went out and forgave the man that assassinated her husband. That took a lot of courage. Now, I know other people do it, and I know, I know there was other stuff that happened. All deflection of what really happened. A political party member has been assassinated based off of the fact that he went out to speak to people at colleges to try to get them on the right path of making between common sense and being what they are, which is ridiculous, right? That's really what it boils down to when it comes to that. At the end of the day, she's going to go through a lot. Now, people go through a lot every day of their lives. I get it. You know, but her getting up there on this podium like that with President Trump and, you know, mourning out her heart about this and forgiving the man that did that in Charlie Kirk's hindsight was very heroic. A very, very heroic thing to do. And I just wanted to reflect on that for the first couple minutes before I get on this NFL preview stuff. I didn't really want to leave that out, that I still have this thing about Charlie Kirk and where I stand with it, that this kind of may have started somewhat of a civil war in some cases, even though it was already going on. And I just wanted to make that known that at the end of the day, the Democratic haters that are out there, I just really have no time for it. I just kind of cut down the numbers and I look at things and I know that this is what's going on. I'm not going to change my looks at it based on people saying that it's a political stunt. It's all blasphemy when you say that to me. You shouldn't even get on here and talk about it because I'm not going to listen to it. It's not real things. Just like the vaccines and everything else that was spread by your so-called ex-president that didn't know what he was signing orders on. Let's get that out. So I've taken 6 minutes of my time to talk about that. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. My condolences to his family. My condolences to the people that have to endure this, it's sad. And the Democrats, I have nothing to say to you. You're just a bunch of people that have no common sense. Sorry, there's none there. Anyway, so now we're going to go to the NFL and get back to it, and we're going to evaluate what has happened today. All right, so earlier I had said Cincinnati had a chance with the points. I was horrendously wrong with this. The Minnesota Vikings went up and they really put a walloping on the Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals are probably in big trouble. Minnesota Vikings, that's crazy. Wait. Yeah, I mean, Jamar Chase only had 5 catches for 50 yards today in a game of that magnitude. Now, you could say it's on the quarterback, but that's kind of a little crazy. Jake Brown and Carson Wentz won a game with the Minnesota Vikings today. I don't know how long that's going to last. I don't think that lasts that long personally. But the Minnesota Vikings are now at 2-1. We'll see what happens. The NFC North division is all for grabs. I still think the Lions may come out in that division, as crazy as it seems. I just don't think that any of these teams, Minnesota nor Green Bay, have it, which alludes me to that one in a little bit too. The Steelers beat the Patriots. All right, Aaron Rodgers got 2 wins. Now everybody's going to overhype this dude. He beat the Patriots. The Patriots don't seem like they're ready to win yet. At the end of the day, don't even know what this dude even had today. What did he even have? He didn't even do nothing. He had 139 passing yards, so he really didn't do nothing. Jaylen Warren was probably their guy. 18 carries, 47 yards, no touchdowns. Calvin Austin. It wasn't even like a crazy game for the Steelers. They just outplayed a team that didn't really play well. So the Pittsburgh Steelers stand at 2-1, but they're 2 fraudulent wins in my opinion. So I'm not really sold on the Steelers just yet. I think they don't even make the playoffs still, even with it all that's said. Now here comes the impressive one, the one that's really, really getting crazy, really, really getting everybody on the hot streak here is the Indianapolis Colts. Now they beat the Titans today. I don't think the Titans are trying to win. At the end of the day, Daniel Jones, 228 and a touchdown. Jonathan Taylor is a solid running back, guys. I could tell you right now, Jonathan Taylor, he's coming into his own, and he's really doing it. 102 yards, 17 carries, 3 touchdowns. The Colts win. They're 3-0. I think they're going to win that division, guys. I really do. I think that they're really going to have a good chance to get through it. Anthony Richardson Sr., 4 carries, 1 yard. Giddens, Tyler Goodson. I don't even know. This team is so young. I don't even know anybody on this team. Michael Pittman Jr. got touchdown, 6 catches, 73 yards. The Indianapolis Colts are looking pretty good. As much as I don't want to listen to Daniel Jones, the hype, Indianapolis Colts are 3-0, guys. They're looking really, really solid right now. And now we're going to go to the next one. I kind of thought that the Texans had a chance. They did not have a chance today. They're now 0-3. And the truth of the matter is we're gonna be realistic here. C.J. Stroud is not getting it done. C.J. Stroud is not getting it done for the Houston Texans. 204 yards on 38 attempts, 25 of 38. 1 touchdown, 1 interception. 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Nick Chubb, 9 carries, 38 yards, no touchdowns. I don't understand. Nico Collins had 104 yards and he had a touchdown. He had a pretty good game today. Christian Kirk didn't really do much. He had 3 catches, 25. Darren Schultz had 5 for 31. The truth of the matter is, I think they got to go away from C.J. Stroud. I don't think he's really going to help them. The Jacksonville Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence, 2 touchdowns and an interception. He didn't even do nothing. ATN did score a touchdown on 56 carries. Travis Hunter, one catch for 21 yards. Trevor Lawrence is now, the Jags are now 2-1 in the season. The Houston Texans are now 0-3. The Houston Texans are in big trouble. Like I said if they were going to go to 0-3, it was going to really, really affect them. Being at 0-3 and not really having much of a chance at C.J. Stroud, they may want to look at trying to get a Kirk Cousins in there to try to maybe boost the energy. They're going to need to do something there because if they're 0-3, I don't think they're making the playoffs. It's going to take a lot for them to do that. The Jacksonville Jaguars, kudos for them for the win. That's 2-1. They're looking pretty good. The Panthers. I thought the Panthers had it in them to win today. And not only did they win, they won 30-0 over the Atlanta Falcons. 30-0 they won. Let's look at the box score of this game. That's kind of insane. Michael Penix. Kirk Cousins actually went into the game and threw 7 passes. Michael Penix, 172 and 2 picks. He's not ready to go, guys. Bijan Robinson, 13 carry rushes, 72 yards. Crazy. Drake London. Kyle Pitts, 4 catches, 39 yards. He's not living up to the hype, Kyle Pitts, by the way. He's another one, 4 catches, 39 yards. He should be doing more. Drake London, 5 for 55. Darnell Mooney, 4 for 44. The Atlanta Falcons just look really, really beat up, and they're just not ready to go. I had a feeling Carolina Panthers might have a chance. Bryce Young did not do great, 121 yards. He didn't touch him the picks. 24 passes. End of the day, Chuba Hubbard, 17 carries, 73 yards. Bryce Young had a touchdown. Realistically, Teoria McMillan had 4 catches. 3 catches, 48 yards. Not one receiver caught a touchdown. 2 running touchdowns. That's it. The Atlanta Falcons as a team really, the Atlanta Falcons, they just look bad. The Carolina Panthers winning 30-0 is, and that's good for them. I'm glad to see that the Atlanta Falcons found a way to win that game, or the Carolina Panthers, rather, found a way to win that game. They really needed to look at that game. Let me get back into here. The thing reset on me. Colts beat the Titans. See, we're going to go to the next game. So, the Philadelphia Eagles with a blocked field goal late in the game, a run back, and they win 33-26. The Philadelphia Eagles are playing very, very good football. They're playing championship football. They're a solid team. They are going to be one of the top 4 teams in the NFC. They are 3-0. The Rams they beat today. The Rams in itself, 2-1. I don't think the Rams are really that great. I thought they were fraudulent 2-0, but they were up a lot today. And then the Eagles came back, and Jordan Davis with a touchdown late in the game, running it back off the blocked kick. The Eagles are now 3-0. Pretty good game by Devontae Smith. Pretty good game by Dallas Goedert. Not great for Saquon, but Jalen Hurts came out, added to his own. Got a rushing touchdown, I think, today. They just do what they need to do to win. And the Philadelphia Eagles are 3-0, are in the running for the best team in the NFC right now, as far as it goes. They handle their business. The Jets and the Buccaneers, closer game than I expected. I didn't think that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers would have sat on a team like the Jets. But the Tampa Bay Bucks did win. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers did win. They're 3-0 now. The Jets obviously 0-3. Not shocking that they're not doing well. The Jets are just not a good football team, guys. Not how you cut it, slice it, dice it. The New York Jets, they just don't do the right things. And they did that with the Aaron Rodgers thing last year, and they just ruined their whole team. That's where it's at. That's where we're at. So now the Tampa Bay Bucks box score in this game. I don't even care what the Jets did. They had Tyrod Taylor as their quarterback. You knew that wasn't going to happen. Baker Mayfield, 233 with a touchdown pass. Now, did Mike Evans? Mike Evans had 4 catches, 33 yards, but he did get a touchdown. I didn't even realize Sterling Shepard still played. But he had a good game. 4 catches, 80 yards. That's not bad. Emeka Ikabuka, Buck Irvin. And they don't even have Curtis Godwin yet. So Tampa Bay, and I can say this, the Tampa Bay might have a chance to be up there right with the Eagles too. I think right now at 3-0, even though it's Baker Mayfield, they are 3-0. They look really solid. I mean, even though they had to come back, the Eagles had to do the same thing. So Tampa Bay is now 3-0. Let's see what happens down the road with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Okay, the Raiders and the Commanders. I think that obviously there's nothing as defense as the Raiders right now. They look really, really terrible in my opinion. But the Commanders go out there. They win the football game today. Let's see the box score. Geno Smith. It's crazy. You can't put it on Geno Smith either. He had 19 for 29, 289, and 3 touchdown passes. So their defense is just horrendous. That's what that box score with Geno Smith having that stat line tells me, that the Raiders do not have a defense. Because if you're going to give up 41 points, you can't win football games if your defense is that bad. So the Raiders are going to have to do something about that. Especially when you're playing the Commanders, who I don't even think they had, what's his name in the game? Marcus Mariota. You let Marcus Mariota put 41 points up on you. That's just terrible. Deebo Samuel, 3 catches, 18 yards, nothing. Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin, 3 catches, 74 yards, didn't get a touchdown. Luke Gaffney did. Zach Ertz, 338. Deebo Samuel, 2 catches, 11 yards. That's all he got, 2 catches, 11 yards. Hey, boy. Commanders at 2-1. They're right there. They're right there with the Philadelphia Eagles. They're right behind them. Commanders looking pretty good. The Browns with the upset of the Green Bay Packers today. Very, very, very interesting that the Green Bay Packers slept on the Cleveland Browns. Now, that saved Cleveland Browns' season. Joe Flacco got them to a point where they won a football game today. Now, you can say what you want about the Browns franchise, and one thing that I've definitely learned about the Cleveland Browns is they've always played spoiler in a game or two every year, no matter what their record was, no matter who's there. But, the Cleveland Browns box score this game, Jordan Love, 183 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Josh Jacobs, no touchdowns. See, you got to get him in the end zone. That's where it's at. Maybe the defense in Cleveland is still as good as advertised. Josh Jacobs got 16 carries, 30 yards. 16 carries, 30 yards. Eesh, that's tough. The Cleveland Browns line. Joe Flacco didn't even have a great game. He had 142 yards passing, 21 out of 36, 1 interception. Not much. I don't even know who Quinshon Judkins is. He had 18 rushes for 94 yards and a touchdown. Njoku had 5 catches, 40 yards. I wish he would have got a touchdown, but that's it. Cedric Tillman. Yeah. Jenkins, their running back, was the only guy that really had anything going on for them. Cleveland grinded it out with a win. Cleveland Browns are now 1-2. They're still alive. I mean, you're not done if you're not 0-3. All right, down the line here. The Denver Broncos, game close, but the San Diego Chargers are now 3-0. Close game though. I don't think the Chargers are going to stay where people are. They'll probably be a playoff team, but I don't think they're going to do it. Bo Nix, 153, 1 touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, 11 carries, 83 yards TD. Cortland Sutton had a huge game. Cortland Sutton had 6 catches, 118 yards, and a touchdown. Pretty good numbers. Broncos played well. I mean, I still think, even at 1-2, I still think the Denver Broncos are still going to be alive later on in the year. I think they're going to be a team that could get to 8 to 10 wins. I think that's where you're going to go with it. The Chargers, Justin Herbert, playing solid football. 300 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Najee Harris, nothing. Omari and Hampton, 19 rushes, 70 yards, and a touchdown. Quentin Johnson. Keenan Allen had 7 catches, 65 yards, and a touchdown. He did okay. Gronk Gadsden. Ladd McConkey, he's like quietly one guy that does good. He had 4 catches and 41 yards, but no touchdowns. Tyler Conklin, nothing. Amari and Hampton, 5 for 59. Keenan Allen. Quentin Johnson, 6 for 89. So, the Chargers look like they're spreading the ball out pretty good out there so far. 3-0, we'll see. They look pretty solid. Next up on the list, obviously something that is big to happen. I didn't even realize Jack Stoll went to the Saints, but that's funny. The Saints totally get annihilated by Seattle. Spencer Rattler, 218 yards, a touchdown and a pick. Alvin Kamara, 18 rushes, 42 yards. Alvin Kamara should be on a trade thing. They should trade Alvin Kamara to a team that's competitive this year, just to help him out. Chris Olave, 10 catches, 57 yards. 10 catches, 57 yards. I mean, they were targeting most of the game. Jack Stoll, 2 catches, 21 yards, and a touchdown. Don't know how that happens. Weird stats. Chris Olave, Spencer Rattler, not a horrible game, but not really that great. Now the Seattle Seahawks. Sam Darnold, 2 touchdowns, no picks, 218 yards passing. Kenneth Walker had 2 touchdowns. Cooper Kupp, 2 catches, 31 yards. Seems like his career is starting to fall apart. Jackson Smith and Njigba had 5 catches, 96 yards today. 1 touchdown. He did pretty good. Seattle just totally annihilated. Seattle 2-1. We'll see what happens with the Seattle Seahawks, They're still there, guys. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do the whole season-wise, but they look pretty solid, Cardinals in San Francisco. San Francisco pulls it out by 1 with a game-winning field goal late. Box score in the game. Let's say Kyler Murray, 159 yards, 1 touchdown, interception. Sounds like a defensive game. Trey Benson, 10 carries, 42 yards. Marvin Harrison Jr., Trey McBride, 5 catches, 43 yards. Zay Jones, 2 catches, 25 yards, but Trey McBride got the touchdown. Arizona falls short in the game. The box score for San Francisco. Mac Jones, 284 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Pretty impressive. Christian McCaffrey, 17 rushes, 52 yards. Ricky Purcell, the man that survived it all. 8 receiving yards. 8 receptions, 117 yards. No touchdowns. Christian McCaffrey, 10 for 88. McCaffrey was really giving him some time. Sky Moore, 1 per catch. Yeah. They don't really have much with offense other than Purcell and McCaffrey. It doesn't even look like they seem to, walk away from it all. But San Francisco finds a way to get it done. They're now 3-0, even though they don't even have Brock Purdy in there. Solid backup of Mac Jones. Mac Jones might end up being their starter the whole way. We'll see what happens. Brock Purdy's overrated, guys. Don't forget that. San Francisco 3 now. All right, and now the last one of the day, the Cowboys and the Bears. Dallas Cowboys. Good old Jerry Jones. Let's see the score of this box score. Dak Prescott. 31 of 40, 251 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. Javonte Williams, 10 catches, 10 carries, 76 yards, no touchdowns. Miles Sanders, that's just a sour move. 9 rushes and 41 yards. Let's see where Fergus, George Pickens, 5 for 68 and a touchdown. I almost took him today. Jake Ferguson, 13 catches, 82 yards, no touchdowns. I don't think that C.D. Lamb played, did he? Caleb Williams, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, 298. The fingernail painter tries to stay flawless. How does that work? Luther Burden the third, 3 catches, 101 yards, and a touchdown. Rome Odunze, 3 catches, 62 yards, and 1 touchdown. DeAndre Swift, 3 receptions, 45 yards. Looks like they just kind of have a nice young core that won. The Bears at 1 and 2, the Cowboys at 1 and 2. I don't think the Cowboys are finished. The Chicago Bears are probably not going to make the playoffs either, but I mean, they put 31 points up today. They live to see another day for now. We'll leave it at that. Okay, so I just had that time. We did our little thing. Chiefs and Giants are getting ready to start now. Oh, God. But anyway, so that's really where I was at so far with it. And that's a really good rundown. So it looks like the 49ers, the Eagles, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, them 3 teams right now seem to be the top ends. Detroit Lions don't know where they're at. Green Bay Packers, they just went down a lot. And the Minnesota Vikings are now at 2 and 1. We'll see where everything falls. It's still early in the season, but we'll see what we got. Anyway, catch you guys in a little bit.